Hey YouTube, Jedi here. We got another Dragonheir video. In today's video, I want to go over the Grave of Venom. I got two different team setups that you can use to help you out with this, whether you're free to play or not. And then I'll give you a few ideas on what some champions you could be using for this dungeon. So let's get into it. Before we get into it, check the links out in the description. My wife has a book on Amazon. I've told you guys about it before. Please check that out. I also got links to the Discord. Lots of good information in there. Some good things going on. And then also wanted to talk about the events. I didn't make one when this event came out. I've been at work for a few days. So I still got to get caught up on some stuff. But the Goblin Rage event is going on my server. If you guys are on the server behind me, this is going to be your next one. Absolutely do this one. No matter where you're at in Goblin, you need to run Goblin and get experience to push everyone up anyways. So you get some resources along the ways. Make sure you go clear it, guys. Let's get into the Grave of Venom. Now, pulling up in here, they did something amazing on this game I haven't seen on other games, and that is the lineup recording. So if you're struggling with a team, you can go in here. You can also show teams that have non-legendary lineups. Props to these guys who are running stage 6 with non-legendary lineups. That's pretty good. You can go in, download it. You can look at their runs. You can click on each champion. Sometimes the load messes up. Just click off, click back on. It's going to show you the artifact and all the accessories that they're using. So you can literally check out their entire teams. We're going to go in here in stage 6 where I'm farming. I'm going to show you my team and the different lineups you can do. So this is the lineup that I'm using. Looking at my team, there's obviously one big flaw, and that's that this guy would be better if he was a different healer. His heals are good, but his heals are really amazing whenever he does a debuff with his heal. He's actually a really good champion, but I'm leveling him up instead of someone else because we no longer have the champion reset, so I gotta be a little more picky about who I'm using, and I'm gonna be using him in a lot more places than like if I used Hixandra, where she would be good everywhere too, but he's got that debuff, so it helps a lot. So the way this team setup works is you put your tank right here in the front. Then next to the tank, I'm using Furbath. This is going to be another melee unit. If you have two melees, this is the setup you want to be using. The goal is to mainly keep the tank alive. He's going to be taking 90% of the damage. Furbath's going to take a little damage. So majority of this build is keeping him alive. So we're going to have my tank here. I'm using Ripicus. I'm using him because he has some really amazing moves that help him out. If you're free to play, Horus works great. I used Horus last season for this. Right here I'm using Megan. This position, I recommend someone who has a defense up and a heal. So you got like Megan or Quarion are both really good champions. There's quite a few who could go there. There's some others that have been added to. We can see what we got there. Furbath, if you're going to use a melee unit here, Furbath is the best one because of his heals. If you don't have a melee unit that runs up and is going to help heal your tank, then this would have to be someone who's going to give your tank a defense up if it's going to be a melee, because they're going to be, I don't know if you could do this without Furbath for a melee one, because it's going to be hard to keep this person alive. So you'd have to go through the champs, but if you have another melee unit and you're able to keep them alive, this is where you want to put them. And then your DPS is going to go right here. The way this setup works, he's not taking any damage, he's not taking any damage. Furbath takes very minimum, but heals himself up. And then Megan, she's only taking damage from the wisp up here, and the reason being is I purposely keep her health the lowest because I want her to be the one to take that damage. Megan's level can actually probably be lower than this. I could probably go in and take off half of her gear, and she's still going to do this because she's only going to take the one hit, so she doesn't need much survivability. And your DPS, you need to push up as much attack as you can. In early game, I personally don't worry too much about crit. Once we get all epic gear, then I'm going to start worrying about crit, but for right now, I just worry about getting that attack up and hitting what we can. Now we're going to let this one run, and then I'm going to go over another strategy on how to set your people up. So as you guys can see, getting into this run right now, our tank takes all the damage. Everyone else is keeping him alive. She's giving him a defense up, helps counter the defense down. If I timed him out better, I could just cleanse the defense downs every time, but right now I'm not too focused on timing, just mostly using his heals to keep through the run. And then Furbath here is doing tons of heals to keep both of them alive. Furbath is just taking a little bit of damage from the boss AoE, which no one else is getting hit with it because of the wayward position. And then of course DPS back here in the back just doing his thing.
Let's just learn this. Take this. The sands. Feel the pain. Run out. You can't catch me. Let's just learn this. You can't catch me. Take this. The sands have run out. Feel the pain. Let's just learn this. You can't catch me. Take this. The sands have run out. Feel the pain.
Alright, so there's that run. I want to show you guys the other team setup. I'm not getting into this. I know y'all are going to be like, well, that's definitely way pay to win for me. However, you can do this with a free-to-play team, and I'll even show you. If you come in the lineup recordings here, just look at these guys' teams. They're using the same strategy that I'm using. You got Furbath tank. This is a free tank. He's using healers. And then Voresh is the damage / healer. Now, these ones making it into Grave of Venom 6 is probably because of the fact that they have Voresh for their damage dealers. So they're doing pretty good on that. But you can come to these lower levels and look through what some of these other people are using. And you'll see the Adventurer will start popping up a lot when you're about Grave of Venom 4. Now, I would say Grave of Venom 4 is probably where 3 to 4 is probably where the majority of people are landing. So if you're doing the 5, 6, 7, you're pushing up a lot, and you probably played in season 0 because you have specific champions to do that. Okay, so jumping back in there with that out of the way, I said, of course, go look in there, see what champions you have that can replace these. I want to show you guys another setup that you can use, and for the next setup we need all melee. Just to give an example, I'll make sure we get someone in here who would normally be useful, so we'll throw her in here. So the way this setup would work is we would do a unit right here, your tank right here, and a unit up here, and then there and there. Now, for this setup, it doesn't matter the positioning of these four. It doesn't matter who's in what spot. When they're set like this, the only person that is going to take damage is going to be the tank, no one else. So the goal of a team like this would be to just keep the tank alive. I'll do a little bit of the run. I'm going to fail because I don't have her leveled up. Because we can't do champion resets, so I can't fully show this out. But this is the strategy I used all last season. It took me all the way through stage 8. My recommendation is to use good healers for something like this, because you really have to keep this one alive, and you really have to have a defense up. Now, last season, we'll just show you kind of what a team like mine would have looked like last season. I used Voresh as a damage dealer. I used Dane, not necessarily as a damage. He did a little bit of damage, but he gave me an attack down on the boss, which helped me out a lot. And then I would normally use something along the lines of Hixandra. Where's she at? All the way down here. And then in the last position here, either like Megan, Imperial Warrior has a pretty decent heal that she could use, but I like having that defense up. So also Quarion. which for this season it's not going to be good because it's going to take away our bonus unless we go. Of course, we need to place the tank. So if we're doing something more free to play, something more along the lines like that. This is a pretty decent setup. So I only have 3 healers. Voresh does do heals, and since he has a single target heal, this is a really good setup. That's why you see those people who have Voresh that are pushing stage 6 right now, because he's just a really amazing champion. Now, if you don't have Voresh, what you would want to do is take him out, and you would want to go through and find any other good healer you have. So someone like this. Now, the reason why this champion, if you have her, she's new this season, she would be really amazing for this boss fight because she heals champions, giving a debuff immunity, which would go in your tank. She also does a defense up too once you get her leveled up some with that single target heal. And then on this one, if ally is fully restored, she gives 50% of that extra healing turned into a shield. So I think she would be an amazing healer for this position if you have her and you're looking for a team to build up. I would highly recommend her. Hexandra is one of the best healers in the game, even as a rare. So something like this, and then this would be your damage dealer. And if I was doing a damage dealer, Dane is a good damage dealer, but he's not amazing. I would replace that with your adventurer. So this would be a little more free to play friendly. Now it doesn't have to be an epic healer. You can go through your healers, and if you don't have someone epic and you can't find someone in the rares that you got that you want to use, then just jump down here to Imperial Warrior, and that will give you a defense up, some heals, damage, and a tank. So your team would, in general, look something along those lines. Let me jump back in there just with my team. Like I said, we're going to fail it, but I want to do a quick little run just so you have an idea of why that setup works. Take you out. And I'm just going to throw whoever in here because it doesn't really matter. So what happens with this team setup is your tank is going to run up, boom, start doing damage. The way these 4 line out this attack, drop it a little slower. So you'll see when she does it, it only hits the tank. It's not hitting anyone else. Her damage is only coming from this wisp right here. And so with this team, your healers will generally be able to hit both of these. So as long as your tank can survive, you're going to get this run cleared out. This is a great setup because you only have one person to focus on keeping alive, and you only need 1 damage dealer to get the boss down. And for all of your healers, the gear doesn't really matter other than whoever has the lowest health just needs enough defense to survive. And that's your main goal. Now I'm gonna fail because I used a damage dealer, not a healer right there, but I just wanted you guys to be able to see that. You'll see right there, boom, every time, no one is getting hit except for him. So that's another good lineup to use for you guys who are free to play. That also gives you an idea of like the champions that I use. Now, going through your champions, if you're having a hard time finding people to fit your roles, click right here on that little button. You're going to get a little filter right here. If you come in here, they have added a debuff and buff filter, so you can look for what you're looking for exactly. Now I will say the one flaw in this is I don't think that they added one for someone who does just heals. So what we can do is come in here and do defense up. So say you're looking for that defense up champion and you're not sure who you need to fill into that role, click that and you can go through some of the kits. Now some of these people are going to have a single target defense up, so they're not going to be good. Some of them are going to be for just themselves. But you'll come in here, you got champions like Quarion here who have that defense up and a max HP heal. And then we have Megan, she popped in here, yeah, Megan, she's a really good one for this. She has a continuous heal with her defense up. These ones mostly are not going to be good. Yeah. Catherine here with some heals and defense up. We have Cyphrus here with also some heals and defense up. And then I haven't gone through everyone, but you can just go in, click, and see what they have. So this one is heals all enemies within range. So there's you another healer, you know. So if you're still looking for healers, we got ally protection, and defense up 1 when casting a skill. I don't know if this is to himself or to who he's casting it on. It looks like it's to the ally, so he would be good too. So he would be casting skills, giving defense up. He's got a heal on there. And now these ones with this times enlightenment, you want to make sure you're getting like an enlightenment chest on them or something like that to get a little more out of them. But that's all you can do. Go in here, filter this, do your defense up champions, see which ones you have unlocked, fill at least one of them into a role with 2 healers, preferably defense up that has a heal, DPS and tank, and you guys are gonna be rocking and rolling. I think with either of these strategies, you'll be doing the legendary gear in no time. I'm almost there. Like I said, most people on my server, they're probably more like farming right at 4, maybe 5. So in this range, they're getting the purple gear, but no one is really farming 7. If you come in here and you look up the lineup, there's 2 teams in here that are farming stage 7, and they're super OP, all legendary teams. So you're not going to be getting Lego gear yet, but this is going to push you up to where you can get legendary gear, because where you're at, your main focus on a team like this is to keep getting gear for your tank, get good HP, defense percentage, chest and gloves to keep them alive, and then get good DPS gear for your DPS person, and you're going to be good to go. But anyways, guys, that's really all I got for this video, and I hope y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps out.